with an athletic director, state of the programs, and we are here at Shaw High School, and I am privileged to join the interim athletic director of the Shaw Raiders, Coach Viven Special.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Coach, you are also the cheerleading coach, so
I am.
Tell us what brought you to Shaw, how long you've been here, and how long you've been the cheerleading coach.
Okay. So actually, I really feel like being back at Shaw is kind of a full circle moment for me. I'm from Columbus, so I also graduated from Shaw High School back in 2015. From there, I kind of went off to CSU, kind of stayed locally. And then I graduated with my math degree, so I came over here actually to be a math teacher, so that's what I do during the day. I'm your algebra teacher.
Oh, nice.
Of course, I've always had an interest in cheerleading. I cheered throughout high school. I also went off to cheer in college. So kind of bringing that here, I noticed when I came back that we did not have a competition cheerleading squad. So of course, that was kind of one of my goals when I got here, is to kind of start that back up. And then also combine both the spirit squad and the competition squad together. Because I noticed we had a nice sideline squad. And I think it was kind of in our best interest and kind of the plan for the past few years to kind of put those together as once, because I think that for Shaw, we really want to bring back that school spirit.
Yes.
You know, and bring back the old Shaw U. I know that's our goal, so we are working hard towards that. And so that's what brought me here, is teaching math, being back, and also starting back the cheer program here.
Now, how long were you the assistant athletic director under Coach Blair Harris?
So I was just the assistant athletic director this past year. He taught me a lot. And I think that the reason I'm in this position too, of course, I came over here not to be in athletics originally. My reason for being here was teaching math at Shaw High School. My love for not just cheer, but athletics as a whole just started to grow the more I've been coaching. And so last year, you know, he's taught me a lot. I think that I owe a lot of what I know to him, of course. I think he saw a lot in the different things that I organize at the school. You know, I kind of have my toes in about everything as far as just organizing different events at the school, and I think he saw that potential in me. So he's kind of helped grow that here.
And I also gave you a heads up to watch the interview that Thrift did with Coach Harrison. It was actually right at this spot a year ago, talking about Shaw athletics. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to run down all the reports. This is the state of the program, and so many great athletes that came from Shaw. And it's a very special place, and we're just glad that, you know, we got the school year coming. It's just going to be here before you know it. They start August 4th?
Yes, it is coming fast. Just a couple more weeks. So
I know you definitely got to get prepared, especially you got students and get ready for those math tests coming up. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into the fall sports, because they're practicing in the gym right now, and games are starting in a couple of weeks. You're watching Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs, live from Shaw High School. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible. To be able to cover the 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy, and Gordy Eye Care for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Welcome back to Shaw High School. It's Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs, and I'm here with the interim AD, Coach Viven Special, who is also the cheerleading coach. And we're going to dive into the fall sports, and we're going to start things off with football because it is the tone setter. Obviously, a lot of tradition and history with football, winning that state championship under legendary Coach Charles Flowers, which that's another segment. We'll get into the facilities because that was just a great moment for Shaw Athletics. They are led by Coach Johnny Garner, who is the stepson of Coach Flowers. And Coach Garner, he's been a Carver, he played at Northside, but he's really instilled his philosophy to get Shaw back to Shaw U. We know about them winning a state title and making it to the state title in 2006. But just talk about the football team making the playoffs last year, 5-6. I mean, they're returning a great dual threat quarterback in Aaron Grant. So just talk about what Coach Garner has done to help build up the Shaw football program and a team that's one of the top teams in the region as well.
Yeah, so I think that Coach Garner is an amazing asset to Shaw High School. I think that when he came over here, you know, we're working on rebuilding the team. I know this past year, just with our seniors that we lost, you know, we were kind of discussing, you know, their JV team last year did wonderful. So I'm kind of excited to see how they kind of rise into leadership this year. You know, we practice around the same time, so I hear them in the weight room. I see them outside. I see them working hard. And so I'm very excited to see how the season goes this year for them. Of course, yes, Aaron, I know he's been doing great. I know he recently just got an offer for ASU, so we're very excited about
awesome.
that.
Congratulations to him.
But yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to see how, you know, some of our younger boys do this upcoming season.
And they actually will open the season against their longtime rival, the Battle of North Columbus, taking on the Northside Patriots. All right, from football to cross country, a sport coached by Coach Ruiz.
Yes.
And obviously, with the success of the track team in the spring, you got a lot of distant runners that will run cross country and track. Just talk about how the progression of the season going for the cross country team in the fall.
Yeah, so they, you know, over the summer they've also been conditioning. They get it done very early in the morning. They come in about 6:30 in the morning to get their workouts in. So I know they're working hard. Coach Ruiz, he's also, he not only does cross country, but I know he also helps out with girls soccer as well. Or he's the head coach. I wouldn't say helps out. You know, so he also makes sure that he's helped with swim as well. So he kind of has multiple sports that he kind of helps out with. But he's doing a great job with cross country and making sure that they're getting their work in this summer.
All right, the volleyball team, which they were out there practicing, led by Coach G. Not the season that they wanted last year, but it was a young team. It was a rebuilding team. Just talk about what Coach G is trying to implement to try to get them ready for the upcoming season.
Yes, so I think last year that was her first year coaching. So I think this year she's kind of worked out the kinks of, you know, what works, what doesn't work, what does she want to change, and make better for this upcoming season. She also has Coach Crowell helping her out with volleyball as well.
Yes.
So I think that, you know, just to brag on her for a second, she's one where she is going to be your biggest fan on and off the court. She's going to support you however she can. So she does care about the success of her players both on and off the court.
All right, and let's go to softball, which they play on Debbie Ball Field, which is a legendary coach here at Shaw. And we had the privilege of live streaming several Shaw softball games. They were one of the top teams in the region last year. They did lose in the first round of the playoffs, but they went 11-3 in that region. It was just a battle back and forth between them and Columbus. Who is the softball coach? And I know that they've got some players that are coming back that are going to be key contributors because they had a young team last year as they get ready for this upcoming season.
Yes, so for softball, that's with Coach Britton. He's great. He is one of the most organized men I know. He also, I mean, he's got those girls working out there. He's not afraid to push them. So they've been working this summer. I'm ready to see how they do.
All right, now let's go ahead to flag football. And I got to give a shout out to Coach Curtis Moore, who was the flag football coach last year. He was the head coach. Still going to help out, but, you know, Coach Curtis Moore, when you think of Shaw Athletics, you think of Coach Moore, and he did just a fantastic job getting them to the playoffs last year. But there is a new head coach for the flag football team, and they actually don't start until October. So you still got some volleyball and softball players that can play flag football if they like.
And I think that just flag football alone is just, it's growing, and it's growing fast. I have a few of my cheerleaders that are interested in flag football as well. So all kinds of different basketball, volleyball, like you said, even softball. But that is going to be led by Felicia Brown. She helps out with me for coaching cheerleading. And also Coach Pringle, I know that she does a ton of work with those girls. So they're working already. They have some conditioning that they do here and there. But like you said, there's a lot of these girls that they're going to pull, you know, later on in the season. since it's kind of that awkward middle when they get started. So.
And finally, in the fall sports, the sport that is near and dear to your heart, cheerleading.
Yes, the best one.
Yes, there's the sideline cheer that you see them at Kinnett Stadium, Otis Spencer Stadium, wherever you guys are playing. Yeah, I actually had a home game at Otis Spencer one year. And then there's also competition cheer. Just talk about, like, you coach both, right?
I do.
So there's the spirit, there's the sideline cheer, there's competition cheer. Do you have cheerleaders that do both?
Yes, actually, so this year we have combined those teams. We kind of worked towards that last year where we put them together, but this year we have officially anybody who is cheering. They're both competing and cheering on the sidelines. I think overall it's made them better athletes, and I think it's pulled out a lot of potential in them that they didn't realize they had. I think that they are leaders of the school and making sure that we build back that school spirit. And, you know, we're also going to be doing game day this year, which is kind of new, and that'll be our first time really competing in game day. But we're ready for our first game.
And it's really just a great atmosphere, especially at the football games and the basketball games, where they can really get the crowd going. And that's something I know you take pride in as the cheerleading coach. And the final sport, they kind of offer this in the fall. Sometimes they offer it in the spring, esports.
Yes.
Who is the coach, and how much involvement have you gotten as this is one of the fastest growing sports in the GHSA?
Yeah, so that we have Mr. Spencer. And I think that's a great way for us to include, you know, a lot of those students who aren't necessarily wanting to, you know, run out on the field, but be able to take their own hobbies and be able to kind of showcase that and experience, you know, that kind of thing that they do at home at school.
Right.
Kind of, you know, highlight that.
All right. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna go talk about the winter sports. As you're watching Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs, live from Shaw High School, and we'll be back after this.
Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the two here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia-Alabama Sports Live, and make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating needs this football season.
It's Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs, here with the Interim Athletic Director, Coach Viven Special. And now it's time to talk about winter sports, and we're going to start with swimming. This is a sport, some of the schools might have one or two swimmers. They swim at the Muskogee County Center on Macon Road. I mean, it's one of those sports where a lot of schools don't have the facilities for it, but the interest is there. So who is the swim coach, and how many swimmers do you have?
So we have Coach Maddox, and I think that this is one of those sports that, you know, it's kind of different each year as far as, you know, how many we have. But we do have a few more swimmers than normal this past year. I want to say that we've had about, 15-ish maybe swimmers. But I think this is one of those sports that I think that the Coach Maddox is doing a great job in trying to kind of grow the program and kind of advertise, you know, pulling in different athletes saying, you know, this is a great off-season conditioning that they could do as well. So.
Oh, absolutely. All right, now the wrestling coach, you have both girls and boys wrestling?
Yes, so we have Coach Pickett, who is in charge of our wrestling program. He's been great. I also, you know, I think he's one of those people that I love having at the school, having both in the classroom. He's my co-teacher in the classroom as well. But I think he's done a great job with the wrestling program, also just trying to rebuild that and build that back to what it used to be. Last year, I know we had a few girls and boys that did make it all the way to state.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk about the basketball programs. We're going to start with the girls basketball team, led by first-year coach Charlie Marquand. Of course, when you think of Shaw, you think of Coach Curtis Corwell, and he has been just a great an assistant. And it was a tough season. They were on the doorstep of the playoffs. I thought they should have got in because that power ranking, they were ranked in the 30s there with Columbus. But I mean, obviously had a very good backcourt with Brooke Shipp, who's got a college offer as well. A young team. I know that I had the privilege of calling their games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Quishai Walcott. I mean, you had Mariah Pacheco, and you had some really good players. Just that region was tough. Obviously, with Hardaway, Carver, Spencer, Sumter County, which came out of nowhere. Everybody in Columbus was like shocked that Sumter County was as good as they were. But just talk about like what Coach Marquand is helping, because they were involved in some summer leagues as they get ready for the season. It's a couple months away. Just talk about the progression that Coach Marquand has built in year 2.
Yeah. So Coach Marquand, I think for both basketball programs, there really is no days off. It's a year-round sport. I think he has done an amazing job with the girls, making sure that, the key parts of making sure that they're good or prepared, I should say, for the season ahead, and making sure that during the season that they keep their spirits up, that they don't give up, that they keep trying. And that's one thing that, taking over basketball cheer this past season was kind of new for me, being able to sit there and kind of watch it up close. It was exciting watching the girls and being able to see like just the energy that they put out there, and seeing that momentum just for every single game, that for the season that they didn't give up and that they didn't have a game, I think, where they weren't prepared.
No, there's no question about it, and I know that Coach Marquand and Coach Crowell is definitely going to have a very talented team, and we're looking forward to live streaming mini games for the Shaw Lady Raiders on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Let's move to the boys because they got a brand new head coach.
Yes.
Well, he's been their assistant alongside Coach Dickey, but it's Chris Horton. We call him old school. Yeah. He could play. I don't know if you saw him in the Adult Basketball League Championship, but I know that his kids respect him. Obviously, I mean, he was there earlier today at the San Mark Dream to Achieve basketball camp. He really puts a lot into his kids, and I think Shaw is going to be one of those sleeper teams because you have a player like Alonzo Talley, and then you have Hunter Houseworth, Christian Gibson. I mean, you've got some new players that have come in. I mean, just talk about what Coach Horton is built in. Obviously, he's been there for a while now, but he's stepping into that head coach
now it's
role.
His role.
Yeah,
yes.
and he's officially the head coach.
Yes. So I've actually, I've known Coach Horton for a while. Grew up with him. I went to high school, and we went to college. So I was able to, while he's playing basketball, I was able to cheer for him on the sidelines. So I've been able to see, how he's grown, and being able to watch him go from that assistant position now into the head coach role has been amazing for me to see because I know it's well deserved. I think it's great to see how the kids respond to him. I think he knows what it takes to get the kids to where they need to be. You've already mentioned some of the names of some of the boys that are going to be great. Tally, I think Zion's going to be great this year as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, they're going to be up here tonight. Like I said, another one of those things where with basketball, there just is no days off.
There's no days off in basketball.
He's making sure they're putting in the work.
Yeah, if you listen carefully, you could hear the hardwood with the sneakers squeaking in the gym. They're practicing right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to take another break. And when we come back, it's about that time, spring sports. And we've got some championship teams, and I'm excited about it. You don't want to go anywhere. It's Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs, live from Shaw High School. And we'll be right back after this.
I'm always on the go. But with the Kinetic Credit Union app, Kinetic is always with me. The Kinetic mobile app is virtual banking at its best. With the Kinetic mobile app, I can easily send and receive money, make a deposit, pay some bills, and I can even open up a new account, all from my phone. And I can monitor all my accounts in one place, all on the go. The Kinetic mobile app, energized banking at its best.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Welcome back here to Shaw High School. It's Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs, and I'm here with the Interim Athletic Director, Coach Viven Special, and we're going to talk spring sports. We're going to start with baseball because every time Georgia Alabama Sports Live streamed a Shaw baseball game, I happened to see you there taking the tickets. And
Yes.
obviously you've seen a lot of Shaw baseball games. They made the playoffs last year. They did lose to Crisp County in the first round, but what a season that they had. I mean, you talk about Kingsley Long, Kingston Long, Otis Stevens, great pitcher. Sincere Ford, great leadoff hitter. Connor Dormady. This team was loaded. They just fell to a team in Crisp County that eventually they ended up beating Columbus. So, you know, the run they had. But it was also the third straight year that Shaw has hosted a first-round playoff series, which is incredible.
Yes.
We know about the accolades, winning a state championship in 2001 under the legendary coach Charles Flowers. I mean, players in the majors. You talk about Stephen Register. You talk about Edwin Jackson, which we met at 706 Day. I mean, the field's named after him. Just talk about like who the baseball coach is, because you have a new baseball coach this upcoming season. And has the baseball team started practicing, or is it too early to tell?
Yeah, so right now we have Coach Britton and Coach Dormany that's going to be kind of taking over the baseball program. They're working now. They're in the weight room, and that's been exciting, just seeing all the different sports kind of utilize those facilities and just be in the weight room more, and baseball is one of them. They're in there 3 days a week. They're out every so often, you know, making sure that the boys are ready for their season. But I know that they are excited. They have a plan. They're getting prepared.
By the way, a big shout out to Curtis Moore, because he was the public address announcer a couple of seasons ago. Because I remember when I wanted to kind of dabble into PA before I was a part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live, that's where I got to meet Coach Moore. And I love the fact that you guys have just passionate fans that come out and support Shaw baseball. Moving from baseball to soccer, what an incredible season, especially for the boys soccer team. The girls soccer team making it to the second round of the playoffs. We're going to start with the girls. Who is the girls soccer coach? And what are some of the players that are coming back? Obviously, soccer is huge here in Columbus with CYSC and Concord Fire South. A lot of players that play on club teams, but who's the soccer coach for the girls?
So right now we have Coach Ruiz as our girls soccer coach. You know, we have Coach Smith that also kind of helps out with soccer as well. But soccer is one of those sports that was really exciting to see this past year, seeing the school support behind soccer. So I'm excited for their season.
All right, the boys soccer team. What a historic season. Making it to the state championship. It was the first time that a Shaw school made it to the state championship since 2006. Coach Curtis Moore, what can you say about the job that he did? And we had the privilege of live streaming that epic battle between Jordan, where it went down to penalty kicks. That was over at Terry Gaines Field in Midland. And I wasn't really, they were flying under the radar. I mean, and then I started noticing them. We were live streaming a game at Otis Spencer Stadium because of a rain out, and that they were actually featured in the last game, and they were up big. And I'm like, this team looks really good. Like Reyes, like number 7, absolute incredible striker. You've got players that are on club teams, and it was just an incredible run all the way to the state championship. Unfortunately, they did a loss in Macon. But talk about that experience, just to follow the Shaw soccer team to their journey to the state championship.
So I think that it was amazing to see those boys get the recognition that they deserved. You could feel the energy that they got just from receiving it from the rest of the school, and being able to, you know, for us to take a fan bus and go out there and go watch them at that semifinal game.
It's awesome.
It was great, and it was an exciting game. You could see the passion that they have. So like I said, they have some hard workers on their team, but I think that they can get there again this upcoming year, as long as they keep working like they have. And like I said, Coach Moore, like we were just talking a second ago, he is the man with the plan, so he's ready.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that region battling with Columbus, I can't wait. And of course, Jordan in that region as well. Spencer's always good. I'm excited that we're going to have an opportunity to live stream some more soccer matches, especially Shaw having a lot of players that are coming back. And I know Coach Moore is going to do a great job this upcoming season. All right, moving from soccer, track had a great season as well. You've had some individuals that have been come out on top. Is this, who's the track coach, or do you have multiple coaches? Because there's a lot of people that run track, and you got boys and girls, many different events. Just talk about who the coach is for track.
Yeah, so the head coach for track is Coach Llewellyn. He has done an amazing job growing that program.
Oh,
I
no
want to say
question.
they started off with 20 or 30 kids, and now it's double that. So that again goes from pulling from other sports and having them on their off season. A lot of our football players run track, basketball as well. We do have our other coaches. Coach Pickett also helps as far as like the discus and the shot put. We also have Coach Pringle helps out with track as well. And I want to say those are the ones that are kind of carrying over from last year. But like I said, he has a lot of, like you just mentioned, there's a lot of kids that are interested in track. So it's definitely a hot sport over here.
Definitely. All right, tennis. And I cannot mention tennis without mentioning WRBL Sports Director Jack Patterson, who was a great Shaw tennis player back in his days, and who is the tennis coach. And when you talk about this region again, playing down at Otis Spencer, playing at Cooper Creek, just talk about like the progression of the tennis team getting ready for this upcoming season.
So even with all the sports, I think just that momentum that all the sports have of that positive slope of where we're going is, I know tennis is included in that. That's with Coach Waller, and he's helping grow that program where they have been. Him and his wife.
Yeah, that's definitely amazing. And I know that with the upgrades and the facilities, I know that I've talked to other schools. I mean, that is something that I know that has to be in the works. Maybe if there was to find some land to get tennis courts here. If they have it at Otis Spencer, there's a bunch of land at Kinnett Stadium. I know that that's got to be in the works. Has there been talks about maybe possibly building tennis courts near Shaw?
I'm not sure about tennis courts, but around Shaw, which I know we'll talk about that. There is a lot of changes,
absolutely,
kind of happening around here.
I can't wait for those changes. And finally, I do want to talk a sport that it's kind of if you got students, it's great. If not, I mean, there's not a program. Golf. Yeah. I mean, it's a popular sport in Columbus. Obviously, you've seen Columbus win a state title, and there's great golf courses like Columbus Country Club, Maple Ridge, which is just like from walking distance here, Bull Creek. When you get involvement of students who want to pick up golf, who would normally be the golf coach, and what's that message to the students here at Shaw that want to take up golf, which the resources are there for a student here at Shaw to take up golf. All they need is just a set of golf clubs, and they could play individually, especially when they have meets, regional meets that are just down the road.
Absolutely. So Coach Moore is planning on taking over our golf program this year.
But he's a jack of all trades, isn't he?
He is definitely, he has a plan, so he already knows how he, plans to handle that this season and getting them prepared for this upcoming year. I know last year, we really didn't have many in the program, but he has a few that he's, tried to help recruit and kind of get them on board with starting golf this year and getting that program right.
Yeah, if he needs an assistant golf coach, just let me know. Anyway, all right, we're going to go ahead and take another break. And when we come back, we're going to wrap this thing up talking about facilities. As you're watching Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs, live from Shaw High School. We'll be back after this.
Get ready to smile. It's Truck Month at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of brand new full-size Chevrolet Silverados. Discounted up to $13,750 off. New 2025 Chevy Equinox, the compact SUV that features high-tech options and discounts up to $5,000 off. You can enjoy no payments until July. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back here to Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs, live from Shaw High School up in North Columbus, also known as Shaw U, here with the Interim Athletic Director, Coach Viven Special, and a lot of great things happening around the campus. As I walked up, I saw the big sign that says Charles Flowers Sports Complex. I know that was long awaited. Great facilities like Debbie Ball Field, Edwin Jackson Raider Field, of course. Kinnett's owned by Muskogee County, but it kind of feels like home. The home advantage. You can walk over to Kinnett Stadium, but just talk about some of the upgrades. I know that they redid the gym a while back, but just talk about some of the upgrades and what are some future projects as far as facilities go.
Yeah. So right now, today is official, like week 2 of me taking over the job. So Coach Harrison has done a lot over the years, just in preparation and planning for a lot of these things to happen, and kind of watch it, as you just mentioned, like the Charles Flowers, the arch right there. That's something that has been in the works for a while, so it's very exciting to see it all put up now and kind of see,
Absolutely.
how that all comes together. But yes, we did get our gym redone a couple years ago, so that's all nice there. We also had, we just named the softball field, the W ball field.
Yes.
We have that right there out on our practice field. We did just put in some bleachers out there, and we just put in a gate to kind of surround that area. So there's a lot of upgrades to the facilities that are, starting to put everything together, and it looks nice.
Yeah, and I know recently I noticed when I was calling baseball games, you have a hitting facility.
Yes.
That's right there on the third base side, and what I noticed was that the bleachers were going up. I was kind of wondering what that was behind the baseball field, but I'm glad that you mentioned that. Is there any other talks about future projects? Yeah, maybe years down the road, but that land at Kinnett Stadium, which is huge. There are many opportunities to maybe put tennis courts. Just the sky's the limit. But is there any talks about future projects?
I'm not sure about down at Kinnett. I know, of course, currently right now they're redoing the track and things like that. But as far as here at Shaw High School, there's been some projects in the works of, when we first walk in, when we first entered down. I know you probably saw a few of the jerseys and things like that kind of hanging up on the wall. So we do have some future projects
and by the way, that mural of the Raider that has been there for years. That's been like a staple of that you're in the Shaw's gymnasium when you see that Raider mural, and that's pretty awesome.
See the history. And
Do you know who painted that, or?
I'm not sure who painted it. I don't know.
Was it here when you were a student?
It's always been there.
So it's always been there. Wow.
It's been there for a while.
All right, Coach. My final question to you is, what is the message to the Shaw community? Obviously, there's a lot of Shaw alumni. And when you think of Northern Columbus, Midland, which, by the way, is growing. I mean, we know Midland Commons is feeling like a downtown Midland.
Yes.
So you know that Midland is growing. So typically, this is where people go to high school when they live in Midland. And that's another thing, talking about the GHSA transfer rule and showing your proof of address. I mean, we see how good Aaron Cohn is in sports, so that Shaw is in good hands. But just talk about that message to the Shaw family on how they can support Shaw athletics.
Coming out and just showing support, making sure that the kids, see your faces, that, you come out to games. Shaw is a great place, and, when you're here, just the coaches and the students, we all have our own little community here. We all get along well, and we want to share that with everybody else. Alumni are always coming back and kind of visiting. But as far as games, we do have parents and we do have fans and support. But I'd love to see that grow. So come out to the games, come support. It's only going up from here. So. And
by the way, the rivalries are back for at least one more year. That rivalry with Columbus, Hardaway, Carver. Of course, North Side. There's a rivalry with Calvary. I do want to say, Jack Patterson from WRBL, who is a proud Shaw alum, he once stated, "Once a Raider, always a Raider."
Absolutely.
Coach Special, thank you so much for taking time and being a part of Sitting with an Athletic Director State of the Programs.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was
I appreciate
absolutely a pleasure.
Thank you.
She is the Interim Athletic Director of Shaw High School. This has been another edition of Sitting with an Athletic Director State of the Programs. And for Thrift Behringer, I am Richard Holdridge signing off. I know that you guys missed Thrift. He's actually on vacation, but he'll be back and doing a couple more of these, as we got a few more schools left. But it's really been a privilege, and I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I appreciate you, Coach Special, and I can't wait to get out there and support Shaw Athletics and live stream it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Thank you for having me again.
All right. Have a great rest of your night, and we will see you next time.